Calling to order this December 2025 meeting of the Maryland Lynching Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Always honored to be a part of this journey, which, as I mentioned before, is starting to come to its conclusion. So as we move along with our agenda, I will quickly acknowledge those commissioners who are joining us. So Commissioner Millen, good morning. Commissioner Snowden, good morning. Commissioner Haley, good morning. Commissioner Hughes, good morning. Commissioner Barnes, good morning. Commissioner Baker, good morning. Commissioner Armenti, good morning. Commissioner Coles, good morning. Commissioner Creary, good morning. Commissioner Parker, good morning. Commissioner Dupree Wilson, good morning. To our staff, Sophie, Kristen, Emily, appreciate y'all as always. And acknowledging Vice Chair Chavis, who has just joined. So good morning as well. Moving along with our agenda, so the approval of the business meeting minutes from October and November. I hope you all have had a chance to review them. If you haven't, do so now. Please let me know if there are any edits that need to be made, and if not, if there's a motion to accept both the October and November meeting minutes as presented.
So moved.
So moved. Thank you, Mr. Snowden. Thank you. Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Minutes are accepted. Thank you all. Moving along with my comments and the soul check. My comments are simple. Like I said before, this is the beginning of the end. We have done an incredible job of putting together the final report. So again, much love to those commissioners who really took the lead and the initiative and the effort to get that across the finish line. That was the number one deliverable. Well, not the number one. It's up there though. It's one of the major deliverables of this commission, and we did it. That's the point. So we have done all that we were truly charged to do. We could technically call it a wrap here, but we're not going to. They gave us till June, so we're going to use the full time that we have. But that final report should be seen as the culmination of this work that we've done. I am proud of us. I am proud of those who have helped the commission in any way, form, or fashion. I hope that everyone who reads this report is proud of what it shares. We remind everyone that this is just a moment in time, so the work should and will continue even after the sunset of this commission. But for the opportunity that we've had to elevate and uplift these stories, these lives, and again, the work of justice and truth and healing and reconciliation, I feel pretty good about what we've done, and I hope you all do as well. So with that, make space for any things that commissioners want to share. Now is that time. Commissioner Dupree Wilson, I see your hand.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I echo everything that you just said, but I personally want to give you your flowers for being our fearless leader, David. This is not easy work that we do. It's also very hard sometimes to organize a lot of folks with a lot of different opinions and bringing us all together. So I just want to take this time to recognize you for being our ride or die leader. In any and all things, you lead with excellence, and we're very, very proud of you. And we thank you so much for all that you've done for us over the years. That's it.
Thank you. I never get used to hearing stuff like that. I don't want to get used to it. Again, this all started because no one else raised their hand on that fateful day. Yeah, let's keep this in mind, okay? No, but seriously, thank you, Commissioner Dupree Wilson. Again, I'm glad that I've done my part to help us get to this point. And that's all I'll say. I did my part. I'm grateful. Thank you all for being patient with me, your grace, your understanding. And look where we showed up. We did good. So I'm happy to be a part of this meaningful work. As was said before, this is probably the most important thing I'll ever do in my life. I'm cool with that. This is worth it and has been worth it. So thank you all. Commissioner Creary, I see your hand.
Again, just want to reiterate my thanks, particularly to Commissioner Coles and the amazing amount of work that she's done, particularly on part 2 of the report. But I also just want to lift up and give a shout out to our colleagues at 3PV, Janice Weeks and Leah Danville. They have been amazing, particularly as we have come to the end of this process. I mean, I think they, and they have been, just amazing in their professionalism when I know we must be getting on their last nerve at this point. But they have done it all with equanimity and grace. And, there's a lot that I could be very proud of, and that I look at in this report. But I have to say the introduction where they introduce the men and boys who were the victims of racial terror lynching. It brings me back to when I first started doing this work with my students at Bowie State, and one of them was saying we have to do full biographies of these guys just to kind of show. And I was just, at the time, was like going through the newspapers, like, there's not enough. We can't do that. And that introduction, they do it to the extent that it's possible. They have done an amazing job of, I won't say restoring the humanity of these men and boys, but certainly highlighting and showing that they are so much more than simply the circumstances surrounding their deaths. I mean, they showed them truly as members of families and members of communities. And if nothing else, comes of that, to be able to do that and to be able to, to put names with them, I think has been, with one exception, of course, I think is one of the true gifts of this report and this process. So I just want to highlight that and again lift them up for the amazing work that they've done.
Absolutely. Won't say any more about that. 3PV deserves all the love they get, for sure. Commissioner Armenti, I see your hand.
Just kind of continuing in that vein, and of course agree with everything that's been said, and personally honored to have been involved in this process from the beginning. I also want to lift up the contributions of course, all of the coalition members, researchers, the backs that we continue to stand on and build our knowledge of these situations. So for all of those, I mean, the list is extensive, so I can't go there, but everybody that helped us, everybody that made it possible within the local communities and, enhanced our research. But to that point, another one of our colleagues, that would be the Heritage Associates, Dr. Donna Tyler Holly and Brett Tyler, for also playing a major role in, allowing us to tell the truth as fully and comprehensively as we could. We know there's always more work to be done as researchers, but hopefully others will continue to carry that mantle, given this really strong foundation that we're leaving. And then just generally speaking, we are, getting toward the end of 2025. I know a lot of us are going to be involved in further storytelling around America 250, Maryland 250. I think the lessons of truth telling, sitting in discomfort, all of the things that we have experienced and know are necessary for people to learn and for society to grow and move forward. Those lessons need to be carried into 2026 as well, and all those different conversations and rooms that we will all be in. So I want to certainly commit myself and encourage us all to carry that energy into 2026. Thank you.
Absolutely. Here. Definitely second that in the strongest of ways, for sure. Thank you for that, Commissioner Armenti. Any other commissioners that would like to share anything at this time before we move on? All right. Hearing none, seeing none. Thank you all. So we'll move on to our public comments. As always, we are appreciative to those members of the public who have followed this journey at any point, but certainly those who have been with us for a good long time. So Reverend Tiger, I'm definitely looking at you. Appreciate that commitment for sure. Absolutely. So to any members of the public that would like to introduce themselves, please feel free to do so in the chat. You can give your name, any affiliations that are relevant, that make sense for you to share with us. We are always grateful for, again, you acknowledging us, and we want to do the same in acknowledging you. Moving along with our agenda to committee reports. I know there's not too much to talk about, but we do have some updates. First from logistics. So Commissioner Millen, if you would like to provide an update, and then we'll move to reconciliation.
Great. Thank you, Chair. I'm really pleased to share that we've rehired former project manager Trish Boyd Floyd for up to 38 hours over the next 6 weeks. That would be 38 hours total, not 38 hours per week. These are just a little bit of funds that we had left remaining. And in full transparency, MLMP is holding the funds on behalf of the commission, and that allowed MLMP then to hire or contract Trish again on behalf of the commission, sidestepping some of the government hiring process quite easily there. She is literally cultivating all of the press release contacts into a single list, comprehensive list, going back over our drafted press release to make sure we can announce far and wide that the final report is done, and also coordinating with primarily Commissioners Creary and Coles and others to do the briefings that will also be happening in the second half of December, early January. Those are the primary responsibilities, all within 38 hours. So Commissioner Creary and I are in our dual capacity of MLMP and the commission, serving as her supervisor. Trish does not need to be supervised too much, and running with it. And I also wanted to say thank you to Emily and Commissioner Haley at the Maryland State Archives for one more big round, or maybe two more big rounds of emails coming out over the next month. So thank you.
No, thank you for that, Commissioner Millen. Yes, glad we have Trish back. Yay. That will help a lot. Which is the last part of our work, which is advocacy, and again, helping to tell the story of this commission and the work that we've done and the recommendations that we are bringing forth to the people of the state of Maryland. To that end, going to go to council very quickly. Kristen, you sent an email earlier this morning. Is that something that we can talk about here? Or does that just need to be something that's understood?
Hi, everyone. That is something that should be understood. I think the email was clear. If there are questions, please feel free to email me directly or per the email. I also gave a contact at the Ethics Commission. I don't want to get too deeply into the details, but I think it was clear. So, but again, feel free to reach out if you have follow-up questions.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, counsel. And if you don't know what we're talking about, check your emails. We ain't talking about it here. Just check your emails. And as was said, it should be fairly straightforward. All right. So over to reconciliation. Commissioner Creary, any updates you want to share?
No, at this point, it's done. It should be in OAG's hands, and they're going to work their magic. And hopefully, once we can get a link established, we'll get that into the draft of the press release, and Trish will work her magic. So that's where we are. I don't know if folks have questions, comments, criticisms.
I think we good.
Can you repeat that, Nick? I think I missed the first part with the OAG hands.
Yeah.
You know what we're doing.
At this point, again, with the last edits that 3PV has done, they're going to get it to you all. You all are going to spin it out and get it to the appropriate places, get the report to the appropriate people, whether it's, the Attorney General, the Governor, the General Assembly. I'm not sure what processes you need to go through. I know 6 hard copies need to be done and distributed. And then I guess, once that's done, we can hopefully get, the link up to the commission's website and we'll load that into the press release and share it with the world.
So the report has been submitted electronically. It's currently being printed. That might take a few days just due to the size of the report, at which point we'll drop it in the mail. 3PV returned the edited version, which I sent to the exec team. It's also available on SharePoint. So I think you guys can move forward if you want to start sharing it, or if you want to add it to the MSA website. I believe Michelle said to use version 2. They included both versions, but it's available and ready whenever you guys want to take it over.
Yes, the main difference between version 1 and version 2 is it just places the kind of cover page for the beginning of the individual recommendations in the right place. Version 1 has the cover page sort of preceding the overall description of all of the recommendations, and version 2 moves the specific cover page for the apology directly in front of apology. So it's just a really small change, but it's just going to make it that much easier and clearer to identify what the recommendations are, since that cover page will go directly before apology. So yes, please disregard version 1, delete it. If you could take it off of SharePoint so no one confuses it, and only use version 2.
Okay, I will do that, and I'll reshare the link to version 2.
Images.
Thank you.
Didn't have Maryland Commissioner.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Coles. Commissioner Haley, I see your hand.
Yes, hi. Just for Sophie, just with what you've already sent out as far as the report goes to the governor and the General Assembly, is that what you've done so far, right? And that's the version before the last 2 edits that happened. Is it possible that you could send or contact them with this? We don't want multiple versions out there, even if they're the slightest possible. From an archival point of view, we really don't want that to be a thing. So is that possible that you'd be able to send this second version and let them know that this is the one that they should hold and heretofore? Is that possible?
To resubmit would be, I mean, we would have to submit it with an explanation, and there would have to be a posting that this was a revision. So if it's only changing formatting, I don't think it's necessary to do. Plus, we've already started printing the copies. I mean, if the commissioners really want to resubmit it, then we would have to pull the copies that have already been started and then resubmit the report. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, it's just updating formatting.
Okay, well, I'll just double check. Just want to make sure. We've had so many issues at the beginning of this whole commission about what records were created years and years and years ago, and then we couldn't find them. And it's like, well, why couldn't we find them? What happened? And if something is different from something else, then that becomes an issue. And so just trying to avoid that while we have it within our power to do so, because years from now, we won't be around to say, oh, well, this is what happened. And then we made 2 more edits, and then we did this, and then we did that. It'll be whatever's there. And people who are dog to the bone will find that difference. And when they find one difference, they'll wonder if there's another difference. So I'm just saying, from the historical archival point of view, that's why you just try to make one copy and get the one copy out. So there's not this open possibility of questions in the future. So
okay, well, how
that's
does
my
the
cautionary
commission
tale.
want to move? Because if we're gonna resubmit, then I need to go pull the copies right now that are being made.
I would suggest let's not resubmit. Again, if it's a matter of formatting, it's not dealing with content. So, let's just, to quote Larry the Cable Guy, let's just get her done.
So when you say formatting, that's only in digital formatting, but when it's in print, it's all pulled together the same?
So we submitted an electronic copy on Friday to the governor and General Assembly. We have to mail 5 copies of that electronic copy to the Department of Legislative Services. After we submitted it, there were additional edits that were requested to the report that swapped out 2 pages and that pushed a floating header onto another page. It didn't change the substance of the report. It didn't even change really any of the words. If the commission wants to resubmit, we can resubmit, but we have a very short window to resubmit. And if that's something the commission wants to do, then I will go and pull the copies that are being made to mail out.
So they change the pagination page numbers, like.
I don't know, Michelle, can you speak on that? Because
Yes. It's I believe it's page 134 in the old version of the report, the version that I think everyone has seen. And basically what page 134 was, it was an introduction to the specific recommendations that we were making. And so it was an overview. It said, we are making the following recommendations. And then we listed A through I all on page 134. And then immediately following that was page 135, which was the apology, the text of the apology recommendation. The problem was that in each time there's a new category of recommendations, 3PV included sort of two cover pages that spoke directly to the individual recommendation. They included a quote that was relevant, and they included a cover page that says this is recommendation A. But they included both of those pages in front of the summary page instead of after the summary page before recommendation A. And so my request was just to move the summary page above the cover pages for apology A, so that the two cover pages that are supposed to be with apology A will immediately precede it instead of being off by a page. So it literally moved page 134 up to page 132, and it moved the old 132 and 133 down to 133 and 134, but no content changed.
So knowing that, I am with Chris, because somebody's going to be looking for something and say, well, my copy is this and on my copy it says that. Well, which one's the real copy? So if we do have a chance to pull and get it all straight and have one copy, I think now's the time.
And
Okay.
if it's not too much of a pain in the butt, then
Well,
fine.
yeah, I need a commissioner to write an explanation as to why we're making the change, because that's going to have to be submitted and that's going to be posted on the website along with why we revised. So I don't know who wants to do that, but then I'm going to go pull the copies. And then
I can write it. Is it just a sentence? Like, we're submitting a revised version to correct a pagination issue?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Commissioner Coles, if you can do that, that would be great.
Okay.
But I need it ASAP because I need to resubmit it while I still have access to the link. So if you could get it to me within the hour.
Yeah. Am I just sending you a sentence in an email, or do you need it in a different
No,
format?
it's going to be formatted because it's going to be posted on the website. So whatever you want the public seeing, that's what is going to be posted exactly. If you want to put it on letterhead,
okay,
but it's going to go along with the report.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So Commissioner Coles, do you have a copy of the MLTRC letterhead? If not, I'll email it to you right now.
Yeah, if you could, I believe I have it. But yeah, I'll put a quick sentence on there.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
And I want to make, and I hate to do this, I don't know, I did not see this in the other versions, but it's a error that needs to be corrected. It has lists me as a descendant of George Armwood for some reason. At least I hope I'm looking at the right version. Version 2 has me listed on a number of pages, and that's not accurate, at least to the best of my knowledge and my family's knowledge.
Unfortunately, 3PV is no longer going to make edits unless they are compensated.
Well, that's a very okay.
I mean, we don't have the budget for it to pay them to make the edits. I think their stance is they asked for the commissioners to review the report repeatedly, and at this point, they're unwilling to do any more work for the report unless they're paid.
Who's fixing the pagination issue?
They fixed it, but I sent a last call on Friday because they made it very clear on Friday they were not willing to make any more edits. So they got that last round of edits from Michelle, and they put it very plainly. They are no longer making edits unless they are compensated.
Okay.
So can we make the edits? Because that's a
Yeah, you guys can make. So if we're gonna make edits, then those edits need to be done right away because we have to submit the report.
Yeah.
So Charles, go ahead and fix that now.
How do I fix it? I'm in the PDF version. That's all I have.
Okay. Let me.
If you have PDF Pro, you can fix it.
Okay.
If you know how to do that. If not, let me know and I can help you.
Because he also, yeah, it's only on two pages.
Okay. So, all right. So yeah, Charles, you can go ahead and fix that right now. Michelle will work on, Commissioner Coles will work on the explanation of the pagination change, and then let's get that done within the hour so Sophie can make these changes.
And I'll also add the change Charles is making. But Charles, can you tell me who you're not related to?
George Armwood.
George Armwood.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know where.
Can you also tell me what pages
Yes.
that appeared on?
2 pages. Hold on. The 15 and I guess this is B. It's in the case study as well in the appendices. So it's B253.
Like 253?
Yes, correct.
Okay. B. So Appendix B, page 253?
Yes, correct. And that's the only thing that I see.
Okay.
That's just, yeah, that needs to be okay. But thank you all.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for that, Vice Chair Chavis. Want to get it as accurate as we can while we can. All right. So basically continuing the conversation, we're just talking about the final report. We've made those adjustments and we'll take care of them immediately. We've gotten some insight into what Trish Floyd will be doing with us in terms of supporting the advocacy. In terms of the strategy, it remains as much as possible to connect with legislators and state leaders. So these are things that we just need to schedule as much as possible. Perhaps some have learned and seen that there is a little bit of a transition that's happening in the state house. There was a more recent update that seems pretty good. Read the article, you know what I mean. But no, yeah, right. But nevertheless, that is the task that is before us right now. We are in the holiday season, so we have to be mindful of just, again, what we can get done. But really, at this point, it's about scheduling meetings. So as many meetings as we can schedule as possible, that would be great. Commissioner Millen, is that part of Trish's scope of work, or is that something that we need to do, the actual kind of reaching out with state leaders, scheduling meetings, and the like?
Trish is going to take that on. Nick and I are trying to gather, all the names and emails. So we may rely on all of you again if we don't have emails or contact, but Trish is going to be setting that up. Again, we're watching her hours very closely, so it could easily transition back to our responsibility. So 38 hours is going to go quickly. I cannot say enough.
Exactly. No,
it's
absolutely.
like that milkshake you've been wanting for a whole hot summer day, and all of a sudden it's gone. It's a weird analogy, but that came to mind. So, yeah, the answer is yes to your question.
Okay, not a problem. And certainly I trust you and Nick to allocate those hours, help allocate those hours appropriately. If it's just something that's easier for us to do, just let us know. Let me know. It's totally fine. Yeah, go ahead, Vice Chair Chavis.
Yeah, I also was going to say, if we can get an idea of like the rollout and the calendar early in terms of public relations and getting this out there, that would be helpful for planning purposes. Even before, I don't want her to think that everything has to be done, but if there are certain things that we can help and support as well, please let us know as we try to roll this out.
I think a lot of that question does. It's got to have. There's only so many weeks between now and January 16th, so. Part of it is setting up the meetings in advance of the press conference, and then also identifying the press conference and backing. We're And with the holidays, we're in that window now.
So do we have the press conference date? Did I miss something?
So we proposed a press conference date. I believe, let me see.
Yeah, we were
It's January 9th.
Yeah, we're looking at January 9th or 10th, sort of again around the anniversary. I think it was George Washington Peck's lynching. But, I think we've kind of come to the realization that, going with a functional date as opposed, the symbolic date, that would be great. But if we're not going to have, a significant representation of the people who need to be there, there, then, let's find that date where we're going to have maximum participation. I think and so that I think is going to be the big challenge, is finding out, and again, sort of, maybe talking with Delegate Pena Melnick's office to figure out what's going to be a good date to do this, and kind of build around that, as opposed to sort of working, yes, the symbolism of doing it on or about the anniversary of one of these, incidents. That would be great. But at the end of the day, we need to get as many people on board and supporting this as possible.
No, absolutely. And I think the background work is making sure that at least state leaders are aware of what we're doing prior to that press conference. I think that's the better approach. And yes, as Commissioner Creary said, the symbolic date would be great. I think as long as it's early during session, that's probably the more important thing before they really kind of get into stuff that we know is going to be the focus of what they're doing this upcoming session. There are some big conversations that are definitely going to be had. It's very easy for us to get lost in the midst of all of that. So I would say the priority is to have as many of those meetings as possible. We first have to see if they're interested. And all we can do is ask, are you willing to meet with us about these final reports? And then let's see how many of them say yes to that. Then I think we can assess when we have the press conference, and honestly, the tone of the press conference, right? Hopefully we're having it with the confidence of support from state leaders, right? As opposed to, their rejection of this stuff, and where we may have to go a little bit harder on it. You know what I mean? So I think those conversations, and again, just their awareness in the background of this final report, is going to help shape that kind of public presentation that we do want to have about the report.
Yeah, and I think it would be helpful for us to defer to Delegate Pena Melnick, but I think her availability would be central. I think it's going to be the most important, because we want her to be there, and starting there and working our way back. But I think having her availability is going to be essential. And I know we want to have others and build out as many as we can, but I'm comfortable as long as we have Delegate Pena Melnick, as well as a large representation of the commissioners. We should move forward. And because I want to make sure, at the end of the day, her support along with Nick's support around the legislation is essential to our commission. And so I think I would start there. Just as a recommendation, whatever available days she has, let's go. She is available for her schedule. Let's go with those, and we can make it work on our end.
I agree. I agree. Absolutely. Sophie, I see your hand, and then Commissioner Haley, I'll come to you. Did Sophie just leave? Oh, no, she did.
Oh, can you hear me? I'm
yeah,
here.
we can hear you.
So I just wanted to close the loop for the resubmission. I wanted to know the hard date where I would get the report back with all revisions, because I'm only going to be able to resubmit it once. And then I have to talk to our copy people around the holidays, and a lot of reports are due at this time, to see when we can get those copies made and sent out. So what day can I expect the report version 2 with all revisions to resubmit?
I have a question just to help. I think will help clarify that. Who is submitting redoing the pagination?
They've already done it. That was the issue. They did it, and that was the last edit they were going to make.
But then it still has to be resubmitted again.
We were not going to have to resubmit it because it was just changing. It was just swapping 2 page numbers. But if we are going to resubmit it, then I just need to have a date. Also flagging that I will be out of the office for a week starting December 22nd.
So I'm going to get with Dr. Barnes to see if I have any issues trying to make those edits. I just don't want to mess anything up. But Dr. Barnes, if you're confident I can go in and delete those on the PDF version, then I can.
Yeah, if you just send us the most recent to make sure we're working on the right one, and then yeah, we can figure it out.
We'll just delete it. I mean, that's just a very important. That I don't. So
Yeah, but that just deleting it could mess up the pagination, so we have to be careful.
Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna try to get that done right after the call, and by the end of the day, I'm gonna get with Dr. Barnes. I'm gonna play around with it first. If I'm able to do it, then I'll send it back over.
So we'll say no later than tomorrow, end of the day tomorrow.
Okay.
And you might get it, and hopefully you'll get it today.
Yep.
If we don't have any real issues.
Do we want to give just, excuse my voice, do we want to give just a couple more days to make sure that this is truly it?
In case somebody else wants to look through it. and
I
see.
mean, not that we're trying to make any changes, but something like this where the fact is blatantly misstated. This really has to be it, because we're, we can't keep making any changes. So
Yeah, I mean, at this point, this should have been done. I mean, we need to close the book on this. Again, if this is, it's a factual error. Yes, let's fix it. Would have been better if we could have caught this before. However, at this point, we got to close the book on it. Otherwise, it needs to be done.
yeah, that's why we have the majority of commissioners on the call right now. Like, people should be hearing that this is truly it. And so I think if you can get it done today, but just to give a little bit more grace, especially so that you're not rushing to make an edit to this document. We don't want anything else to get messed up in there. So I would just say, like, if you can feasibly do it today, then okay, and let's say today, so that everyone on the call understands that that is absolutely it.
Yeah, I'm working on it right after I get off the call. So
Okay, and to add to Kristen's point, if you need a few days, that's fine. But there's a lot of work on our end that goes into it, printing it, getting the copies, getting it mailed out. And the commission isn't our only client or commission we support. So if every commissioner on this call could just please give it a once over one more time, hopefully we can just submit it and get it printed. I would rather just do it one more time than, someone doesn't speak up and then a week from now discovers their name is spelled wrong or something. So please, just look at the report one more time.
So you want us to say by the end of Wednesday?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. End of Wednesday.
I mean, we're already resubmitting, so there's no point in rushing. It's going to have to be resubmitted with an explanation, whether we resubmit it tomorrow or Wednesday or Friday. It's still going to have that same explanation. And then you can't share. I mean, obviously, you can't share the report with anyone until we've officially submitted it. So.
So if we were to make it Friday, would that be too much of a
oh my goodness
issue?
I mean, if we make it Friday, I'm not going to be able to print it until Monday.
Okay.
And then
okay. End of Wednesday, college style, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. After that, it's done. It's over with. It's going to be immortalized. Deal with it. You'll be fine.
I was going to say, let's make it close of business Wednesday.
Close of business? Okay. Close of business.
That's already
okay, cool.
Is that 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
So close of business
Eastern.
Wednesday. I can get it submitted Thursday. Friday, we have an OAG all event, so we will not be in the office. So if I can't submit it Thursday, then we would have to wait till Monday. Just, setting a realistic timeline for everyone based off of our own capacity and prior engagements.
That's fair. Close the business Wednesday. That's it. Okay. Look at my
And then
eyes.
Michelle, you can wait until, I mean, if you have until Wednesday to get the explanation over as well, if you want to like work on it. So it's not just rushed.
Right. All right. Everybody good on this?
So you're gonna send us, like right now, you're gonna send the latest. So I'm sure we're
Yes,
working on
I
the
can
latest.
share that now. I wonder if I share the, for the exec team members who did get the email from Leah, if I share, just forward that email, can you open up the attachment that's in the email, or do I have to share
I
the
have it.
SharePoint?
I've been able to access it if it's the version 2 most recent one, and then
Okay.
it has a,
Let me just forward that now.
and it does.
Can you only forward version 2 and leave version 1 out so there's no confusion?
Okay, then I'll just have to share the SharePoint version then. I think that might be easier.
Okay.
And
'Cause I don't want to delete
put
things from their
today
emails and, I don't want to.
in the body. I mean, in the subject line, make sure you say revised in today's date or something, just so we know.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Commissioner Haley, I see your hand.
Yes, thank you. I'm just thinking moving forward. Well, as far as the website goes, I know we're waiting to get the final okay and accept it. And we all accept it with a breath. that this is final report. But on the website right now, we still have, believe it or not, we still have scheduled meetings. That's because we were trying to be ahead of the game all the way through. They'll have heart attacks. December 14, 2026. So I just want to know, to what degree are we fine with us deleting those completely and or using logistics, because there will be some unofficial or official logistics meetings coming on. No more commission meetings. So I'm just trying to get a sense of what do we think. And I guess as far as OAG goes, if we're still having meetings to talk about briefings or having meetings to talk about press releases, are those considered official meetings? Because they're official. If they're official commission meetings, then we have to post them. We have to abide by the same bylaws that we have abided by through the duration of the commission. So that's my question. Because I know we don't really have to have it through by the end of June 30th, 2026. We certainly don't have to have any meetings listed after that, no matter what. But I'm wondering about what we have right now, because if anybody who is watching this website from outside, oh, they're still having meetings. They're not really over. They're going to have a reconciliation meeting. They're going to have a commission meeting. So that's what I'm trying to get a sense of.
Well, I guess that's a good question. I was thinking about the same thing in terms of the meet. If we're having briefings, I guess I guess the question I had was, will our briefings that we're hosting, will those have to be made public, or are those private briefings, or do we plan on doing like a public virtual briefing? So those are just some thoughts. And I thought that's kind of in terms of the meetings that we have on schedule. Maybe those could double as those briefings or public conversation sessions or something.
Yeah, I mean, I figured we would stick with the monthly business meetings until the end, and that can serve as, again, a briefing about the final report. It can be any updates that we share about the advocacy as we can share it. To me, the briefings with leaders, and I think that's dependent on how many commissioners will actually be in the space. Those would be, for lack of a better word, off the record. If that's okay with council, if that's allowed.
Yes.
Okay.
And I also reshared the link. Please let me know while we're on the call if you can't open it.
Okay. So yeah, that's the approach that I was gonna take, and we don't need to have as many meetings as we had before, but I think we should at least do the monthly meetings until the end, which provides the updates on what we've done, with this stage of the work.
Okay, thank you. Now, so Nick, Commissioner Query, we are still having the one this Friday, reconciliation.
That's a very good question. I'm wondering if we need to,
I mean, I'm not saying we have to, but let me put it, I'm just trying to follow by the logistics and all that. I mean, we could wait a month, we could wait till January to see what we think. I mean, I also wonder, do we want to have quote unquote the post-mortem meeting where we as commissioners get together to talk about all that happened? I know we've sent recommendations for future commissions too, but as far as just our 6 year or 2 year or 3 year period, did we just want to talk about what could have gone better, what could, blah, 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 the things that you generally do when you have that, which also I don't think would have to be an official meeting, but maybe even that would have to be an official meeting. But I just, yeah.
If I could add my 2 cents, if folks have time on Friday, I think we should have it because the committee hasn't seen the report yet, and so if it is ready, if it is public, if Sophie says we can share it by Friday, I think it would be really nice to just do a screen share, at least let them see how it's all come together, thank them, and then give them a preview of what our plan is going forward to see if there are any ways they can engage with helping us amplify the reach of the report and tap their networks. Like there may be ways that we would still want to ask them to help us lift up the report. So it seems like that might be a good touch base just to give them the heads up of what's next.
Sure. In that case, we can just schedule the meeting for Friday.
Okay, so I'm going to keep Friday, keep all the forthcoming commission meetings, and delete, and this sounds awful, delete everything else as far as meetings go.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the revised one and now, like page 2 with the map, everything is cut off on the left.
Dr. Barnes, just take your time and maybe we can look at the format. I just don't want to alarm you. I know.
So it's like a different size than the other pages. And I was noticing that on some of them, like, how does that work out? Like, yeah, some pages are horizontal. So in terms of printing, is that trying to be a spread or something? So page 21, nothing's cut off, but it's wider or appears wider. Is it a spread for 2 pages? But page
When
And that's another question,
I'm looking for
Michelle, but I think this might be for Sophie. Like, so when they do a printing, right? Like, is there may be issues in terms of what Dr. Barnes is discussing that we won't find out until after it's actually printed, right? Like around like the spacing, and also the sizes of images. Like, so is that going to cause additional delay if after they print, they're like, I mean, we can print it, but it may, because I know having done this and seen stuff published like these large documents, sometimes when it's printed, the things can be off. And there's the office, I guess question I have is the printing office fix that, or they just hit press print?
Well, so I'm responsible for printing it because we don't have a budget to print. And then the office is helping me by making the additional copies. Because I can't make 5 copies of a 630 page document. Like that would run through all of our supplies at the office. I didn't notice anything when I was printing. I mean, granted, I didn't go through all 630 pages. I'm having to trust 3PV did their job in formatting. But if you want to, on your own, maybe print the pages that you have concerns with to see how it looks. I mean, you don't have to print the whole report. You can print certain pages. And then if you don't like the way it looks, I mean, unless someone can go in and edit it themselves, like we don't have 3PV anymore to make edits.
So just on those 2 pages, when PV originally sent them to us, they had both pages 2, the 2 that you just flagged, Commissioner Barnes, pages 2 and page 21. They had them like vertical, which made it harder to read it because the pages were vertical. I asked if they could make it horizontal, but I didn't think that would change the size of the paper it was printed on. I thought they would just make everything narrower so it fit on the same 8.5 by 11. And so if Sophie, if you're able to look at a draft that has printed, if you could just look at pages 2 and 21 and see, does it cut off the text or does it fit in an 85, 8.5 by 11 page?
Mm.
Because that's the issue. Is they originally sent it to us with a different orientation, and I asked them to make it horizontal so it would be easier to read, as opposed to like having to turn the report as you read it.
If that's not going to work. I mean, if this is supposed to be a big horizontal map, you're going to have to turn the page for it to fit. Otherwise, you're going to have big white gap at the top and bottom, and it's going to be shrunk.
It could not just cut the image off slightly on the right hand side where there isn't any information and just make that image more narrow. Like basically Delaware is on the map.
It's not going to be just narrow. It's going to be smaller, and then you're going to have big white at the top and bottom. Because you're taking now what was 8.5 by 11, and when it was sideways, it was 8.5 by 11. Now you're going to take that 11 and make it 8.5.
Right.
And then what was 8.5, you're making fit, which is going to be smaller. You're going to have like a couple of inches on the top and bottom.
So maybe the easiest answer is to just change the orientation back to the way they had it vertically on those 2 pages. I think those were the only 2 pages, but I can take a look.
Okay, but the file that we have is cut off.
What did you say?
The file that we have, the text is cut off, so I can't.
I can see all the text, and when I open the one Sophie sent me, I can see everything that Sophie just sent us.
On the left-hand side of page 2?
Yeah, I can see everything. I can see Allegheny and the names. I can see Anne Arundel and, 5 names. I can see everything.
Okay. All right. But printing-wise, all right, let me try printing it while we're working on it, and I'll let you know if there's an issue. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, and Sophie just ran down to the a copy center in our office to see one to tell them to stop, assuming that they started, because she went down there earlier this morning. But if they already started, we may have an example to see how it looks as is.
Okay, that would be good.
Cool. All right, awesome. Appreciate all of that. Again, let's get this done by everything fixed, whatever needs to be fixed. Wednesday, close the business, 5 o'clock. Then you will have spoken, forever hold your peace. Amen. All right. Any other questions in that regard? Okay, good. All right. Well, we are at the end of our meeting. So any announcements? I know that Commissioner Snowden put something in the chat. I'll just read it on his behalf. So he's inviting everyone to the 38th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Awards Dinner on Friday, January 16th at La Fonte Blue in Glen Burnie. There will be an award received by Governor Wes Moore. And if you are interested, you can call Miss Arlene Jackson at the number that is listed in the chat. If there are any other announcements, please feel free to share it at this time. Commissioner Coles, I see your hand.
Hi, it's not an announcement, but I was just going through looking at that orientation. It comes up again at the recommendation table on page 190. So I just want to flag that if that's another place where we have to go vertically align. So the entire recommendation table, it is horizontal, and so it's wider than everything else in the report. So we'll just have to look at that as well.
Cool. Thank you for flagging that. Appreciate you. Any other announcements? All right. Hearing none, seeing none. Well, then I move that we adjourn this meeting. Our next one is scheduled for Monday, January 12th. Monday, January 12th. If anything comes up between now and then, we will let you know. But in the meantime, happy holidays to you all. If you are traveling, be safe with your travels. Enjoy the time, enjoy the peace, enjoy the family, enjoy the solitude if you can get solitude. Much gratitude as always to our commissioners, to staff, to members of the public, and we will see you in the new year. Hopefully it goes better than this year. We'll see. We can only hope. But this year had its moments. This year had its moments.
Come on, midterms. Come on, midterms.
Hopefully people learn some stuff this year. That's their New Year's resolution. I'm going to learn from my mistakes. All right. Appreciate you all and see you in January.